So Humane Lab's situated in like a picturesque countryside of San Andreas and was founded in the late 20th century by a group of visionary scientists and philanthropists. Their goal was to create a state-of-the-art facility dedicated for advancing medical sciences and improving human and animal health. The founders believed that through cutting-edge research and innovative technologies, they could tackle some of those most pressing challenges facing society. With the vision in mind, Humane Labs was established as a beacon of scientific advancement and ethical research and practices. So in the early years of Humane Labs quickly gained a reputation for excellence in research. Scientists at the facilities made significant contributions to various fields, including genetics, pharmacology, and biotechnology. Their work led to groundbreaking discoveries that revolutionized medical treatments and saved countless lives. One of the key milestones in Humane Labs' history was the development of a groundbreaking treatment for a rare genetic disorder. The achievement not only showcased the facility's scientific prowess, but also underscored the commitment to improving human health through ethical and responsible research. From the outset, Humane Labs' mission was clear: to conduct research that benefited society with upholding the highest standards of ethics and integrity. The facility was designed to be a hub of innovation where scientists could collaborate and explore new frontiers in science and medicine. Humane Labs' purpose was to extend the scientific discovery. It was also the center for education and outreach. The facility hosted workshops, seminars, educational programs. It's to inspire the next generation of scientists and foster a culture of learning and discovery. And despite the mission, Humane Labs has not been without controversy. Over the years, the facility had faced allegations of unethical practices, including animal cruelty and involvement in the development of biological weapons. These allegations had cast this kind of like shadow over Humane Labs' reputation and raised a lot of questions of its true intentions. The controversy kind of led up to the point where it started to cause some concern. There was protests, there was government concern, and people were saying, we heard about this, because there was a whistleblower that came out in the early 2000s, where a whistleblower came out and kind of talked about their employment with Humane Labs and what they've seen and stuff like that. That was a huge groundbreaking discovery for the community of San Andreas. So when it came to the statement Humane Labs pushed out to the media, they kind of denied the recent allegations of engaging animal testing for development of biological weapons or warfare agents. And they were they were talking about how they take their ethical, responsibilities in the research very seriously, and adhere strictly to all regulations and guidelines forth by regulatory bodies. Their research focused on advancing medical science and improving human and animal health. That's what they stand for, right? And Humane's, in their statement, was talking about how they're committed to the highest standards of animal welfare and employees righteous, ethical reviews and processing all the research involving animals, and they prioritize the well-being of, research subjects and stuff like that. And they wanted to bring the community in and to kind of confront those issues and that controversy and try to prove to themselves that they're not like that. But the whistleblower had other ideas, so we ended up bringing that local into the conversation, and they were talking about their time over at Humane Labs.
I was a former employee at Humane Labs in San Andreas. I had decided to speak out about the horrific practices I witnessed at the facility, including animal cruelty and development of biological weapons. During my time at Humane Labs, I witnessed appalling acts of animal cruelty. Monkeys, dogs, and other animals were subjected to cruel and inhumane experiments. They were injected with some unknown substance, exposed to dangerous pathogens. And it kept in conditions that were detrimental to their health and their well-being. The suffering of these animals was unclear, and it was heartbreaking to witness.
What sets Humane Labs apart from other research facilities is the alleged involvement in development of biological weapons. Sources within the facility claim that animals were used to test subjects for deadly pathogens and to aim of creating biological agents for military use. These revelations raise serious questions about the ethics of such research and accountability of those involved. While the focus was more on animal testing, the impact on human lives cannot be overlooked, right? The reports suggest that exposure to these biological agents has resulted in several health issues among workers and nearby residents. The long-term effects of these experiments on both humans and animals are yet to fully be understood, and it's just casting a shadow over Humane Labs' legacy. It kind of came to my attention when I spoke to Jacob Crane, an employee over at Ladder 23, who witnessed a walking, talking chimpanzee enter Ladder 23. The story that he told me was very curious, and I wanted to dive deep into this investigation and figure out things. And the interview and his side of the story was interesting.
Yeah, well, I was had Ladder open one day. It was Chocolate Milk Monday, and about the second customer to come through the door is a freaking, and I'm not kidding you about this. It was a chimpanzee, but not just any chimpanzee. He's wearing a leather jacket, and he has a machine gun on his back. Like one of those Russian machine guns. And he comes up to the counter and he says he needs food. And, it took me a minute to collect myself and realize I'm talking to a chimpanzee. So I kind of was joking around with him. I got him one of our Nanaimo bars. And I was joking around with him like, where'd you break out of, buddy? And he said Humane Labs. I'm not going to lie. I was a little concerned about the machine gun on his back, so I tried to trade him. I said, hey, buddy, you want 50 Nanaimo bars? Give me that machine gun, but no, he wouldn't take it. After that, he asked me if we had bananas on the menu. We do not currently. And shortly after that, he was on his way. I asked him where he learned to talk, and he said Humane Labs. I asked him his name, and he said Chimp. Which not a very creative name. Maybe they gave it to him at the labs. I'm not sure.
Our investigation unfolds and calls for justice. Echoes across San Andreas. It might not be a thing now since Humane Labs is shut down, but it is an excuse for those who are still infected by it, right? So, a lot of activists and animal rights groups demand accountability for Humane Labs and its collaborations, urging authorities to investigate these violations of ethics and morality. The need for transparency is the oversight in scientific research and has been more apparent. So the story of Humane Labs serves a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of unchecked scientific ambition. As we reflect on the dark chapters of San Andreas' history, we must strive to ensure that such things will never be repeated again. Only though the vigilance and accountability can be prevented, the abuse of science for the purposes and safeguard of the welfare of living beings.